Good evening, everyone. Ads here from Unity Trading Group. Welcome to your Monday update. It's good to be back in front of the charts after a extended period away from them in terms of our updates anyway. So if you haven't already, follow the links down below to find out more about Unity Trading Group and where you can find us and continue the conversation. But without further ado, the man of the hour, BTC. So where are we at? Where have we been? And let's reiterate. Let's back up a little bit and see where we've been so far and what we've been looking at over the last couple of updates, if you will. So BTC, this downtrend has been broken, as you would already have ascertained from the chart that you can see in front of you. And we've been looking at this for quite some time. I used the line chart to really gauge that downtrend, and you can see the validity of using that line chart, because it gets rid of the noise and it's a little bit easier to follow. So if you're interested in using something like this, I do suggest you flick over to the line chart to draw in your trend lines because you will get a unbiased look at where you should place those trend lines. But anyway, as you saw, because we used the line chart and because it was placed in the right position, it was very valid in the sense of our break and close above it. And a lot of the price action respected it very, very nicely. So, moving to the upside, we did have levels drawn in, here and of course here in terms of levels of supply that ran across the chart. We did break through those today and we pushed to the most relevant zone on the 4-hour time frame, which is around this 40,000 mark, and it touched it pretty much perfectly. So, if you want to find out more about how we draw in these things, you can follow us in the links below in our signature. But when it comes to levels of supply and demand, they are very, very accurate if drawn correctly. And we were using this entirety of this candle here to the right-hand side to really gauge where that zone should be. And of course, we've got a number of retests to the right-hand side of that price action to validate where that zone should be. But as it stands right now, we are looking at a very overbought scenario here on the 4-hour time frame. So, I will be drawing in, the fibs. So we've got swing low to swing high. We always draw from left to right. And of course, we are looking at a number of zones to the left-hand, to the left-hand side to really validate these levels in terms of our fibs. So the most notable zone for me is the 38.2, as it usually is. If we usually observe an upwards trajectory, it is typical for the price to move from here to the 38 to continue to the upside, whether that be to 45, whether that be to 42, but 38.2 in terms of the fib retracement is usually a one to look out for. And in my opinion, and it is my opinion, of course, as long as you take that into consideration, the 38.2 is probably where we'll end up. Looking towards that 23.6 as well. So 37 to about 36,000 is probably going to be the range that I'd be looking between. And that coincides in the center of the 23.6, 38.2 being the most notable in this instance here. But, if we were to turn on something like Gravy Train, our homegrown indicator, you can see the validity of 38.2, emerging now as our cloud starts to flatline around that 38.2 point as well. So just a further validation of that zone, and looking like Gravy Train, alongside Steamroller, made the right calls there. And you can find out more about those in the signature in the links down below. But I think it's important for us to zoom out a little bit and have a look at the daily time frame. Let's get rid of some of this stuff on the chart so we can see to really gauge whether or not we're going to continue. So I spoke about this not long ago in the sense of BTC, and I said, we're around here, and I said, we're a critical level of demand. It is quite strong, in my opinion. We are observing Steamroller at the oversold condition, and we are seeing RSI at the old oversold condition as well. That was something that I said a couple of weeks ago, or even just a week ago now. If you look at some of the updates we did around this time, around the 20th of July, just a week ago now, you can see my thoughts, that revolved around that area there. And I even said to my audience that I was buying at that zone. But it comes down to, now that that's happened, it comes down to, are we going to continue? And I think if we look towards that 4-hour time frame, towards these levels of fibs, whether that be the 38.2, the 50, or the 61 in that instance there, I think those are important levels. But if we are to come down and retest that 38, I think it will validate our RSI in terms of our 50 area there as well, our median line, to really give us further validation of a movement to the upside if we're going to see one. So it's really a game of cat and mouse at the moment, where we're chasing these levels to be fulfilled, or these levels to be respected currently, in the sense of 38.2 and the 23.6, the 50 and the 61, of course, most notably the 38.2, for a further move to the upside. But I need to reiterate the fact that we were very violently rejected on the $40,000 mark. There was quite a lot of selling pressure at this point to push us down so far, and it has done twice in the subsequent candles after the touch on 40,000. So it really pays to be a little bit patient currently. If we do retest this level of supply, I'll be selling some of my position, not all. My trading strategy revolves around DCAing on both ends of the spectrum. So I'll be selling some of my position into profit, at around that 40K mark if we do retest it a second time. Or if we see the 38.2, I'll be looking to DCA myself into this market at the fib levels, pending what we look like down at that point. It's not financial advice, of course, just what I'm doing. And, we're free to exchange ideas here, and of course on some of the other platforms you can find links below. But that really concludes the long-winded update for BTC. In the general sense, in conclusion, should we say that I'm looking towards that 38.2, the fib levels in general, for the minute on this 4-hour time frame, and it does look okay on the daily time frame to test some of the upper extremities of the market, pending the break of this level of supply, in which we have not done yet. We have not done in the past, and we haven't done it now. So it's going to take some time to do that, and it's going to take more volume that we've seen to do that. So I'll be waiting for that scenario. And of course, if we don't break it, if we do get rejected a second time, then we'll be assessing the market again. Draw your own conclusions. Let us know what you think in the comments down below on TradingView. I'm Ads from UTG. Thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.